Welcome to Foundation Friday, May 26, 2017. Steve Sipress here with my weekly Foundation Friday tip, which means if you are an advanced marketing-minded business owner or entrepreneur, you really need not tune in on Fridays. These are just the very foundational basics, pretty much for the beginners in the world of sales, marketing, advertising, generating business, growing businesses in an effective way. And so at first, as always, I share my Rhino of the Day out of my collection of over 800 rhinos. And today, because it's Foundation Friday and I'm talking about a basic principle, this is just your everyday basic wooden rhino. So I know I have a bunch of these, and this is hand carved in Kenya. Can I get this pointed to the camera properly? There you go. Hand carved in Kenya, kind of cool. So somebody actually, although it makes sense, doesn't look like a machine could have done this, but it's very cool. It's very smooth, solid wood. I like it. All right. So ask any 100 business owners, self-employed people, professionals, whatever you want to call them, what's the easiest sale to make, and they'll all rush to tell you, oh, well, that's a referral. Referrals are so easy because they come, predisposed to buy. They're all warmed up by some happy customer or patient or client or member or whatever it is in your business. And so, man, they're just easy to sell to. Well, that's all good and true, but they are not as easy to sell to one other type of person. And if you're watching this, and you could guess the answer, you shouldn't be necessarily, you can if you want, of course, and I appreciate you watching, but no need to tune in on Foundation Fridays because it's a basic principle, and the answer is, it is a current / past customer, patient, member, client, whatever you call them in your business, somebody who's done business with you before. They are much easier to sell to than a stranger, a new prospect, even though they come recommended by somebody that they trust. You still have to convince them to get to trust you and to like you and to get to know you and what you're all about and what you have. But your current / previous customers are much, much easier to sell. They already, by definition, they have trusted you. They've handed you their cash, check, credit card, whatever it is in the past. As long as you have served them remotely, even properly at all, and helped them with an excellent or even a decent product or service that they were happy with. The problem is they're easy to sell again. The problem is that the overwhelming majority of business owners ignore this huge potential for growth. One of the first things I can do with any new client to put some instant money in their pocket, because all too often people come to me to hope that I take them on as a new client, and they've waited until they are in some kind of a desperate money situation. Now, that's not rare, so if that's you, welcome to the club, as you are a full-fledged entrepreneur, small business owner. That comes with the territory. We don't get a standard 40 hours a week and a standard paycheck, and that's the way it always is, and there are no ups and downs. It doesn't work in our world. There's constant cash flow pressures and issues, sometimes because you're growing too slow, sometimes because you're growing too fast, sometimes because you need money for some expense to grow. It would include marketing and advertising, or maybe it's just to pay the bills, or maybe it's to pay debts, or whatever it is. There's constant needs for cash in business, so nothing to be ashamed of, but often that's when people wait just a little bit too long to come to me and expect that I can perform miracles. Here's the good news: I can. And one of the first things I do for them is I ask them if they have a database, a list, even just receipts, if they haven't kept it in a computer in one place, if at least on paper they have receipts, names, addresses, email, phone numbers, whatever you got, some contact information for people that have done business with you before. They're the easiest. You go right to them and you offer them something that they want, and a certain number of them will respond. And so there it is. That's the Foundational Friday tip of the week, as foundational. If you need an influx of cash, it's not that you want to sit there and say, oh, let me go to all of my current / past, and the reason I say past is because depending on your business, maybe you see somebody that came to you, if you're an attorney, and they came to you a year before because they had some specific issue, that they're a past client. So however you term them, current, past, they've done business with you before. If you need a quick cash injection, I don't suggest that you say, oh, let me go to all my people that have done business with me and ask them if they know anybody else that'll do business with me and get referrals, because they're the easiest. No, you go right to them and you offer them something. Maybe it's something you have that they haven't bought before. Maybe it's something you have that's complementary to something they bought. Maybe it's more of something they've bought before, so it's repeat purchase. It's, do you want fries with that type of thing? Chips and a drink with your $5 footlong? The low-hanging fruit, the easiest sales you can make are sales made to people who already are or have done business with you. And there are many ways to get that done, and perhaps I will cover that in future episodes. But for today, have a fantastic holiday weekend, everybody. Thanks again to everybody that wished me a happy birthday yesterday and joined me on my training with David Michaels for that amazing piece of software. And a whole bunch of people took advantage, and I'm already waiting for the success stories to come pouring in, because that thing really is amazing. So have a fantastic holiday weekend. Let's go to any questions. Scott DeSalvo. Pleasure to see you here, and it just so happens I just met an attorney, and there's one of the finest, most upstanding, honest, great attorneys, which maybe that's even a singular. Well, I do know a few other attorneys that are honest and upstanding, but Scott stands out in a cesspool, and I'm sure he wouldn't mind me pointing out the fact that unfortunately the world of attorneys is quite a cesspool full of untrustworthy, say one thing and don't deliver and overcharge and all kinds of crap, and they just don't care about you. Well, Scott is the complete opposite of all that. By the way, I might know a few more attorneys than most people because I have a law degree, and so I have a whole bunch of friends that I went to school with. It's our 30th, it was recently our 30th law school reunion in my class, so it's a little over 30 years ago, but I do know a bunch of attorneys, and Scott stands out right at the top. So I know he's only licensed to practice in the state of Illinois, but if you're in the Chicago area and you're having issues, anything at all that you might think is a legal matter, contact Scott, and either if he can't help you, he will likely know somebody who is also trustworthy and excellent that he can refer you to. So that's it. And so you see there by example, if you join me, ask a question, participate in these videos, I will help to promote you and share the news about you, and that's how I like to reward people that are here live, or to anyone else that's watching on a replay. Craig Valine, thanks for coming in, just in time for me to call it a day with the Foundational Friday tip, and to wish everybody a fantastic holiday weekend, and I will be back tomorrow with Success Story Saturday, and it's going to be a fun one. So thanks for joining me today, and I will be back here and see you again